myself, a fight of this magnitude, if there is a draw, where does that leave both fighters for you?
We don't want to see a draw, so don't start that. But I think if the fight goes 12 rounds, then it's going to be close. You know, there's no doubt about that. But you know, hopefully we get a clear winner on Saturday night, and one way or the other we can draw a line through it. Maybe there's a trilogy if it's an incredible fight. But let's see what happens Saturday.
And in regards to next week as well, 5v5, obviously you're captain Deontay Wilder. How's the relationship been with him leading up to the fight? Any WhatsApp messages, exchanges? How's that going?
Really, I mean, obviously we caught up at the press conference, and I'm looking forward to seeing him on Monday. He looks great in training camp, and I think if we can inject that belief into him, I think he's going to put a great performance. You know, he's our captain. We've got double points, so we need him to win that fight. If he can win it by knockout, I think we win. We're pretty much guaranteed to win the whole thing by that point. So it's going to be a lot riding on that main fight.
And could we potentially have a 5v5 in London coming up?
Sure, yeah, we're already talking about that. I mean, you know, last week we had Kakachi against Cordina. Obviously, tomorrow night we've got, Saturday night we've got Chev Clark, also against Zorro. Then we've got the 5v5. We've just done a deal for Shabazz Massoud to fight Liam Davis
great
as well.
Great fight.
Yeah, these are all tremendous fights, and we're talking all the time.
Just on Cordina and Kakachi there, of course, shocker in a way. I thought Cordina was the favourite. And what's the thoughts of the kind of going forward? I know Zelfa and Cordina was kind of briefly mentioned. What is the plan?
Yeah, look, you know, maybe Zelfa looks for a shot for Kakachi. Kakachi has a mandatory, which is our fighter, Sugar Nunez, the Mexican who just beat Rakimov. Very, very good fighter. And you know, he did very well, Kakachi. I expected Joe to win the fight. I don't think he boxed fantastically well, but I think he needs to move to 135, and that will definitely be next for Joe.
Eddie, do you think that Zorro is a tougher fight for Chev Clark than Isaac Chamberlain would have been?
We'll know on Saturday night. I mean, I think that they're similar kind of levels. I haven't seen enough of Zorro. I know he's a talented fighter. Obviously, he got stopped by Jai Patai, which is not, you know, a disgrace by any means. But I expect a good fight. You know, this is a Lonsdale belt clash in a cruiserweight division, and two very good fighters.
A quick word on Joe Joyce, Derek Chisora. A lot of people online sort of cringing at seeing Derek Chisora in the boxing ring again. Do you think that's fair?
Well, what I'd say is, I think certain fights you wouldn't want to see him in, but Joe Joyce is a fight that stylistically is not the end of the world for Derek Chisora. You know, he's a slow heavyweight. He can punch for sure, they all can, but he's not a sharp one-punch knockout specialist. So in that respect, I think it's a better fight for Derek than fighting a young, fresh guy who likes to move and, you know, he's a huge one-punch knockout artist. So, you know, Derek's going to do what he's going to do, but I think style-wise, it's not the worst matchup that can be made for him.
When's the last time you spoke to Ryan Garcia? How's things there?
Saw him in Saudi, you know, it's just bizarre. You know, 1 minute he's saying he's going to punch me, and then next he's asking for selfies and saying let's squash the beef. Like, you know, I've told him, I don't know how many times I've got to say, I hope you're innocent, but you've still got to go through the process, and obviously we'll see what happens with a B sample coming up.
Eddie, just a quick one.
You just announced Fisher Babbitt.
Yeah.
You've just won the purse with Dalton Smith as well. Just talk to me about the back end of this year. The summer.
Yeah, exciting. You know, want to make the big fights. I mean, Fisher Babbage has gone down so well. Like, huge fight at the Copper Box. It's a great fight. Dalton Smith, you know, he wants to win that European title as well. Hopefully we can make Wood Warrington as well. You know, we're constantly looking to try and bring those big fights to Britain. Fighters do want to fight internationally, and we can do that with them in America and in Saudi, but at the same time we've got to make the big fights happen in Britain, and we continue to do that, and you know, be a huge crowd for Fisher Babbage on July 6th. Last one.
Just a quick one from myself, Eddie. In terms of fighters, there is a fighter in the name of Shakur Stevenson on his final fight, a contract with Top Rank. Is that someone that you would look to explore working with either in 2024, 2025?
Yeah, for sure. You know, when Shakur, or if Shakur comes up as a free agent, we definitely like to talk to him. He's one of my favourite fighters. I think he's a tremendous talent, but we've got to be able to deliver the fights for him. So if that opportunity arises, I'm sure we'll talk.